Well, Coach, being located in the Music City, this building has hosted a lot of great music acts since its inception, but this is what she was made for, NFL football, and that's what we have today in Nashville at Nissan Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Tennessee Titans. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Here we go. 18 Gator. Check.
They'll start off with a give to Lewis. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Push him back. 49, check 49.
A second down run with Lewis. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
The drop to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Here we go. Like 80. All day, every day, any day.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 9-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's see what you got.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Tennessee getting the first down on a big play of 18 yards.
Here we go. 180. Check 52's the mic. If you'll get the ball.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. This will be caught by Brown. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. First down, Titans, gain of 12.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing. but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Garoppolo in the offense with a 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Back to the ground now. It's Henry. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play, because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Draw play. This is Henry. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity, because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Lewis here on 1st down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go, here we go. 60, orange. Come get some. Come on here, come get some. Here, lock it. That's the us.
2nd and 11. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. No score after 1 on EA Sports. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Looking to throw. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
The one with the dime look that time on defense just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. up, but here's a late flag, and a face mask is going to get a much better starting position. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a 1st down.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
First down.
Got one.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard
Hey, gun.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
On the ready. Mike 51. Mike 51. You must be true. Kill. Ready, go.
They'll stay with Lewis here on 1st down. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Single. I got number 23. I got
2nd and 4. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise.
And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Derrick Henry. His 11th touchdown of the year as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Let's go, defense. Yes. Let's switch. Let's go.
Back to throw. He gets this to Devontae Adams. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Jeffrey Simmons just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. A dime look defensively here for the Titans on 3rd. They'll set up to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Amani Hooker. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Here we go. 52. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And this is caught at the 8. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here.
11.
Garoppolo now. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Garoppolo to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's got Lewis. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. The second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. He'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 42. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown pass of this first half. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
The Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the third quarter gets underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Now 3rd and 5.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. What do you need? Hey, tight.
From the gun on third, Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Again, it's Lewis. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. He's picked off near his own 48, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran around.
And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Darren Derrick Henry. His second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Titans are able to extend their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
Here we go.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Ricky.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that's complete to Adams. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be a 2nd and long.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Looking for Campbell down. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 36 yards on the play. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashad Evans, the linebacker, recording the sack there.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. He wasn't likely to make it in the first place. Anytime you eclipse 100 yards rushing, you deserve the acclaim that comes with it, and he got it. AFC Offensive Player of the Week last week.
And wasn't up around 200, wasn't in a crazy game, but very good, solidly in that driver's seat to win that award, and he did. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
First and 10.
Here we go.
You're
not ready. You're not ready.
Derrick Henry. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Hey, here we go.
Throw left side complete. It's Lamb. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10. Back now in Nashville. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Titans on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. That's Aguilar with it on the jet sweep. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll him behind the line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Let's go.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by Harold Landry, the former Boston College Eagle.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
The Colts on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Ready, go.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And the Titans, they've got the football back, and they've got it in great field position.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right.
A 1st down carry for Henry. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Wait, 80! Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
They'll run it again with Henry. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. It's a gain of 4 there and gives them a new set of downs.
Let's go, let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go. Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog.
They'll run on first down. It's Henry, and he is going to lose yardage here. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 120.
Brings up second and 12.
Let's get it.
On second and 12, Garoppolo nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Here we go.
So the sack of Garoppolo, and now what can they come up with on third and long?
You can't block me. Hey, get cuffed and hunt.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the fourth quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll set up a throw. 20! Catch made here by Campbell. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts take advantage of the turnover to put up 6. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. You're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeout. And Henry's hit. He lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And it's a defensive return for a late touchdown. So they still need somewhat of a miracle here, but at least that gets them a little bit closer.
Touchdown, Titans.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellows in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Mike, here we go.
35-yard line.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. Here we go.
And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 33-yard line.
So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for the Titans, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.